Welcome to the Fun Astrology Podcast for July 11th. Wow. Somebody put the brakes on this summer month here in the Northern Hemisphere. Seems like it shouldn't be the 11th, but it is. Are you feeling that Mercury now in Leo, by the way, which moved in at 12:11 this morning Eastern Time? For the next 3 weeks or so, you might want to be heard a little bit more than normal. Please listen to me. I have something to say. On the cautionary shadow side of that, make sure it's said with love and grace, not with spitting fire. Just watch that for the rest of July, and then it will move on into Virgo, where it will be home for a little while, including the next retrograde. Now, it will pull away from that opposition to Pluto that we talked about yesterday fairly quickly, but it is still in an opposition to Pluto as well. Now, we've been talking about everything that changes signs is going to be aspecting Pluto. We have to add to that mix. Now it's the north and south node of the moon as well, because they are sitting at 0 degrees. They change signs next Monday. We covered that pretty extensively last Thursday, July 6th, so I would refer you back to that if you didn't catch it. But now, at least for a little while, we need to imprint any sign changes, including the moon, is going to be hitting Pluto at the cusp of Capricorn Aquarius, moving backward now, by the way, too, into Capricorn. But now add the nodes, moving backwards as well, crossing from Scorpio into Libra for the south node, and from Taurus into Aries for the north node. And you know what this really amounts to is that we are sitting right now on a powder keg, if you will, of transformational, karmic-related energy. When Saturn and Pluto conjoined in the sky on January 10th, 2020, that was the marker post of things are getting ready to change. We did our level up on Sunday night, and I talked about change being inevitable. We drew the Two of Wands card from the Lightseer's deck, and it said exactly the same thing. That's what led into it. It's a message I got last week, personally, just walking back to my car from a store. Said, things are changing. Don't resist it. So Saturn-Pluto was the big signpost. That was the billboard that said, we are going to enter a new era. And if you trace that back and follow history, that's exactly what has happened. Now we're into the minutia of it. We've followed so many different astrological signs and changes and pivots between then and now. So here we are again. I wouldn't say this is any different. It's just another brick in the wall, another signpost, another opportunity. But look at the snapshot of what we have this morning. What you're waking up to is, of course, Pluto fixed to that cusp position, now at 29 degrees. The nodes are at 0 degrees, so there's your cusp of Taurus, Aries, and Scorpio, Libra, like we just mentioned. But in addition to that, Mars is at 0 degrees, sitting on the cusp of Virgo. And now Mercury at 0 degrees, sitting on the cusp of Leo. And really, that covers all the elements, too, because we're moving from water into air for the south node, earth into fire for the north node, air into earth for Pluto, fire to earth for Mars, which is fire, of course, and then from water to fire for Mercury. So let's take a look at this another way. There are 10 planets and luminaries, right? And then if we add the nodes, that's 2 more, north and south, so that's 12. 5 of the 12 are on Sign-Cusps. 5 of the 12 are extra powerful. 3 of the 5 relate to karma, past lives, past history, changes from something to something, and the other 2 are triggers. So you see why I'm looking at this and saying I think for most of us that we're not going to so be impacted by this in our daily lives, but just realize that there are these little hot points. So if something flashes up, remember the energy that is trying to help us on the high side of our timelines is just shaking loose and changing stuff that doesn't serve us. If you're called to let something go, think of the caterpillar and the butterfly. Trust that something better is on the other side, and then be a little less hesitant to let go of what might have been familiar. This is a giant, multi-year pruning time. Go back to 1284. That was the Saturn-Pluto conjunction that I think most closely parallels this one. It took nearly 100 years. And I know that's like, whoa, what? Well, but wait a minute. Time certainly moves faster today. Consciousness moves faster today. But I'm going to say, it takes a long time to wake dead people up. And you know, there's a lot of dead consciousness out there right now. So we have to be the change. We have to stand for the change. And you might be completely immune to this because of your own vibration being high. But realize the people you work with, or maybe people you live with, or people who are in your family could be getting hit by these energies. Mars is at 0 degrees, so watch flaring up anything that doesn't need to be flared up. Mercury is at 0 degrees of a fire sign that wants to speak, so count to 5. Pluto could be there to take something down. Be in the compassionate mode, not the I told you so mode. Hold the space for their transformation. And at the same time, you'll probably get a little of your own while you're doing it. Maybe new reactions to old situations or old triggers. So anyway, I hope that helps. I think that's where we are in the chart today. Now, tomorrow, we're going to answer a listener question about those oracle planet changes that are ahead, and she wanted to know a little bit more about oracle planets. We've got a little gap tomorrow. Perfect time to slip that one in there. So thank you guys. Hope you have a good Tuesday, and I'll see you back tomorrow for the Oracle.